as far as the Eidgah Maidan row is concerned, to maintain law and order situation, heavy police force is now being deployed at the Eidgah Maidan. This comes after the state government has given nod to celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi at this Maidan. The Supreme Court, remember, will also be hearing this matter at about 3 in the afternoon. But the cops there conducting a flag march. They're trying to contain the law and order situation, and heavy police deployment now can be seen outside the Eidgah Maidan. Look at the visuals that we're putting out on our screens. My colleague Harish Upadhyay, who's been tracking all these developments, now joining us live on the broadcast from the Eidgah Maidan. Harish, before we get into the politics and the ownership row, just give us a sense, and to our viewers as well, as far as the security deployment is concerned.
Well, around 1,500 personnel deployed for this. This includes personnel from the Rapid Action Force, from the District SWAT team. We also have around 1,300 people from the Bengaluru City Police. And they have taken part in the route march now. Depending on how the Supreme Court order goes, there could be a reduction in deployment or increase in deployment, and any further restriction is what the police tell us. But today's route march largely focusing on sending a message to the residents that there will be no law and order issue, and also sending a message to anyone who wants to disrupt peace in the area that they will be dealt in a stringent manner, and there will be force on the ground, and nobody can think of disrupting law and order in the area. That's what the Bengaluru police have done now. A lot depends on the Supreme Court order and how the government wants to go ahead after that. In case the court discretion of the state government to decide on application seeking permission for celebration of Ganesh Chaturthi at the Eidgah Maidan in Chaturthi, then the police will have to make arrangements accordingly. At the same time, state government will put in some sort of a restriction and conditions for the organizers on how they can go about celebrating there. If the Supreme Court doesn't allow the celebration, keeping law and order in mind, then once again they will have to ensure that there's no protest that comes in from all these resident groups there or pro-Hindu groups who have been demanding celebration at the Eidgah Maidan in Chaturthi.
Okay. Harish, now talk to us and our viewers of what this entire row and controversy is. This is political as well as ownership that is involved on different parties taking claim. Talk to us about the controversy. Why are we seeing such a row as far as the Ganesh Chaturthi celebrations are concerned?
Well, as far as Eidgah Maidan in Chaturthi in Bengaluru is concerned, there are two aspects here. One is ownership. Now, the Revenue Department has claimed ownership of this land. The Waqf Board claims it belongs to the Waqf Board. That is something that will get decided in the Karnataka High Court in the due course of time in the coming months. The second immediate plea is that Ganesh Chaturthi celebration be not allowed here. The Waqf Board says it belongs to them. Allowing Ganesh Chaturthi there could disrupt law and order in the area, and it can be done. That's the Waqf Board's argument. Revenue Department says, well, it belongs to us. We've already had the Independence Day celebration here, and this is a public playground according to us. And if Ganesh Chaturthi celebration is a public program there that the residents in the area want, we might consider that plea depending on the arrangements there. So there is a dispute on the ownership and the purpose of this ground, and one of it will get decided today in the Supreme Court. But the ownership is something that will get dragged on before the Karnataka High Court and then perhaps eventually end up in the Supreme Court in the coming months and years.
Harish, also talk to us about what are we going to see as far as the Supreme Court today is concerned. We do know that the Karnataka Waqf Board had challenged the High Court order, and the High Court had permitted, remember, the state government to take a call. What is expected as far as the Supreme Court hearing is concerned?
Well, there were two orders from the High Court. The single judge bench asked the state government to ensure that there's no celebration and law and order is maintained. The division bench left it to the discretion of the government on deciding a plea seeking permission to celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi there. Now, the Waqf Board is likely to argue that for a number of years, there has been no celebration here. And especially when there is a dispute on the ownership of this property between the Waqf Board and the Revenue Department, there should be no change in the purpose of this land and who it is allotted to. The courts have made it clear that there could be prayers on two occasions by the Muslim community, and that should continue. The government should change the purpose and how it's used, and they should continue the status quo is the argument by the Waqf Board. The government is likely to say that there has been enough time given to the Waqf Board to prove that it belongs to them or claim the kata ownership of this property. That hasn't happened. and it belongs to the revenue department. And they would argue that the government should be given the discretion on deciding how the ground gets used for the benefit of local area people there.
Okay, Harish, we'll continue the conversation with you in just a bit. Stay on with us. Let's listen into some political reactions first.
We are having a very elaborate bandobast to ensure that no untoward incident takes place during the Ganesha festival. Already from the last 2 weeks, a number of action has been taken by the local officers in terms of identifying all the vulnerable areas and increasing the deployment there. Today we had a route march. Basically it is a confidence building measure to build confidence among the residents here. Also it is a warning to all the people if anyone intends to do any kind of a law and order incident.